The Castle, written by Franz Kafka in 1922, is one of the most significant and enigmatic philosophical novels of the 20th century. Containing literary traits of both modernism and existentialism, The Castle is, to a large extent, a metaphorical and even mythical work. The artistic space of the novel is limited to the village and the castle overlooking it. The artistic time changes irrationally and without any explanation. The location of the castle is impossible to place into any precise geographical point, almost making it seem like it contains the whole world. Also, the period where the story takes place is undefined. The only known fact about it is that there is winter now that will last, probably, for an eternity. The coming of spring is short and often followed by snowfall. Themes such as separation, loneliness, and discontent caused by isolation in a bureaucratic government are explored throughout the story. It follows one individual's struggle to gain access to the remote officials who govern a village from the safety of an inaccessible castle. It's a book drenched in darkness and frustration, a tale about unfortunate villages, dim taverns, unresponsive authorities, slender messengers, and grim, snow-covered streets. Left unfinished after Kafka's death, the book offers insight into the alienation caused by hierarchical systems, discontent in face of the unattainable, and the loneliness of a foreigner. The characters are pale-faced and suspicious, the writing is sharp and descriptive, the protagonist's quests to discover understanding are futile, and the village appears as if cloaked beneath an impenetrable fog. The Castle is a magnificent book about the pursuit of the impossible in a remote, elusive system. It is a marvelous feat of imagination and creativity. The novel opens with a man named Kay arriving at a small, remote village. He enters a local inn and seeks a room, but is told there are none available. He is offered a straw mattress in order to sleep on the floor in the taproom, and he falls asleep. Sometime later, he's awakened by a young, well-dressed man who informs him that the village is the property of Castle West, and anyone seeking to spend the night must have permission from the Count. Kay informs the man that he is a land surveyor who has been summoned to the village by the castle. The young man's attitude changes immediately and Kay is offered the landlord's bedroom, where he sleeps. The next day, Kay attempts to visit the castle to obtain permission to stay in the village, but the hike is extremely tiring and he takes shelter at a local tanner's shop, where he is clearly unwelcome. He returns to the inn and meets two men, Arthur and Jeremias, twins who are assistants from the castle, whom he refers to, both as Arthur. A boy named Barnabas gives Kay a note from his contact at the castle, a man named Clam, instructing him to meet with the village mayor. Kay follows Barnabas, thinking he is heading for the castle, but finds himself instead at Barnabas's home. One of Barnabas's sisters takes Kay to another inn, where he meets Clam's mistress called Frida. Kay and Frida are attracted to each other and have intercourse. When she accompanies Kay to his inn, the landlady angrily confronts them because she is Frida's mother. The mayor apologetically informs Kay that his summons to the village was a mistake, but offers him a substitute position working as a janitor at the school. Kay is outraged, but Frida encourages him to accept the position, pointing out his lack of options. Frida and Kay are a couple, though Kay seems more attracted to Frida's connection to Clam and the possibility of reaching him through her than anything romantic. Accompanied by the Arthurs, Kay moves into the school. He becomes convinced they are attempting to trip him up and get him into trouble, so he locks them outside. Kay makes several futile attempts to get in contact with Clam. He goes back to Barnabas's home and speaks with Barnabas's sister, Olga, who tells him her family's reputation is bad and only Barnabas's connection to the castle spares them shame. When he leaves, Kay meets one of the Arthurs, Jeremias, who tells him that Frida grew tired of waiting for Kay and is now his lover. His attempts to contact Clam scandalize the villagers, and Kay begins to understand that the villagers hold all of the castle's officials in awe, even though none of villagers appear to know what any of the officials do. The villagers offer Kay several lengthy explanations for the various decisions and commands from the castle, but they contradict each other and are clearly based on assumptions and imagination. Kay is dubious and sarcastic concerning the castle. He is repeatedly informed that the castle's bureaucracy is perfect and that it manages the villagers' business flawlessly, but Kay knows that he is there due to an error, so this is an obvious lie. He hears that the village has requested Frida be reinstated to her job as a barmaid, but also learns that the castle itself launched the effort to bring her back against the wishes of the villagers. He also witnesses a low-level official from the castle casually destroying paperwork because he doesn't know what to do with it. Kay is summoned to a meeting with one of the castle's secretaries. He is so tired that he finds remaining awake while the man explains how he can gain favor from the castle impossible, and learns nothing. He is then ordered by another secretary to convince Frida to take her job back. Kay meets a man named Hans, the son of Otto Brunswick. Otto's wife claims that she is from the castle, and this makes Kay believe that befriending Hans is the key to gaining entrance to the castle. Kay observes the castle and is not impressed. Instead of a grand structure, it is really just a collection of crumbling buildings. The officials living in the castle rarely come to the village, but instead have a staff of secretaries who do their work. When the men from the castle do visit the village, it is implied they do so to carouse with women. Kay's interactions with castle secretaries has elevated the esteem he's held in, and he is offered a place to live by a coachman at one of the inns. At this point, the novel ends mid-sentence. Kafka left notes hinting at two possible conclusions for the story, but died before he could complete the work. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.